and welcome to Quarantine Question Time, episode 2.
Good day.
Are you ready for 10 more quarantine questions?
Yes. Bring those questions on.
I'm sticking with the Instagram questions for now. And then when I'm done with the Instagram questions, I will move on to the Facebook questions. So are you ready?
Yes.
Question number 1. Do you think the CIA killed John F. Kennedy? And that comes from Crazy in a Jar. Again.
No, I think it's more likely to be a mob hit.
Really? Why?
Because I know, maybe it is the CIA actually, to be fair. It's got to have some kind of government involvement to get that level of cover up on it. I don't know. I don't think about it because I spent a long time in my teenage years pondering it.
Did you?
Yeah, no, I did. I was really into the Kennedys for ages. Like, I was just obsessed with it, which is why if and when we do a curse one, I want to look at the Kennedy curse.
Yeah.
But yeah, it probably was the CIA, but there's got to be some kind of mob link to it as well, I think. I think it's just shady. Do you know, it's just underworld shadiness. And that could be government underworld shadiness. It could be.
Or it could be like organised crime.
Or it could be both.
I mean, I'm going to say no.
You don't know how high up organised crime goes.
That's true. I'm going to say no.
Why?
Just because I wanted to say something different to you.
Okay, so you don't think that...
No.
You don't think there's any... You just think it was a crazy man that shot him?
I think it was the Illuminati.
Oh, okay. Okay, next level stuff, okay.
No, I don't really. That was a joke for anybody who comes at me.
No, I'm interested though. What do you actually think?
I don't think I know enough about it.
Okay.
To be really honest. I think I need to... The problem is...
Come on, you've watched the BuzzFeed Unsolved episode. You should feel fine about it now.
If I start looking at conspiracy theories, I will fall down a black hole that I will never come out of. And, you'll see me and it'll be 3 months' time and I'll be in a tinfoil hat, pulling all my hair out, telling people about, I don't know, the CIA and the Illuminati and that the earth is flat. That's what will happen.
I always feel that when it's someone as high profile as the president, it's an interesting case to look at. And particularly as the only thing that, like, he won the election by a really tight margin. And although he was disliked by many, he didn't really encourage the same level of hatred, as far as I've read, as to some of the others that have either had assassination attempts. Like Reagan, I get the assassination attempts on him.
Harsh.
No, I do. I'm sorry, I do. Because he put so many people in.
Was it you?
I don't think I was born when that happened, actually. Because obviously there was so much economic hardship in based off of the policies that he did. Whereas, Kennedy, the only thing that stuck out was that he was a Catholic. And that caused a lot of people, like, unnecessarily, but that was like the fact that he was a Catholic president was a big deal.
See, this is what I mean. Like, I don't know anything about this. My knowledge of American politics, past, present, or future, is so limited. So,
okay, that's fair enough. But what I'm saying is, I don't feel like there was enough about him just to warrant a crazy guy to take him out. Like, if they were trying to get rid, like, it's more likely that it was.
But you have to
all
think
those
about
people that he was caught up with, or the government trying to get rid of him.
But you have to think about, like, just a crazy guy trying to take him out. There are a multitude of different reasons why somebody will see somebody high profile and want to assassinate them. And it doesn't necessarily have to... You can't just say, well, yeah, he didn't really do anything to warrant people wanting to kill him. Like, look at John Lennon. He was assassinated.
Yeah, so it could be ultimate fanboy. But the thing is that the thing that's really frustrating is that he was killed before anybody could really talk to him. Like, the sniper, the guy that allegedly killed him, Lee Harvey Oswald, was then assassinated himself.
Was he shot outside the hospital?
Yeah, which again you can understand, because I guess if you like that celebrity so much, and then someone goes and kills them, you want to feel that violence towards them, I guess.
We need to do a conspiracy episode.
We will.
Absolutely, 100%.
I think we need to get my brother in on it.
Yes, we do. Joe is going to be in on it.
But I'm putting a line, there's no conspiracy series discussed about the current situation.
Oh, no, absolutely not. Not happening. Not interested.
Nope.
Question number 2. Can you do more episodes on cryptids and urban legends? And that is from Nicole J. Curry. Abso-fucking-lutely, Nicole.
I've got a big old book of urban legends which we need to dip into, but they're all really short, so we'd have to sort of do like quite a few.
Yeah, that's fine. And we can do some research around them as well, though.
Yeah.
And I love a cryptid. Cryptids I am here for. I love a cryptid.
You love a monster movie as well, don't you?
I love a monster movie. I love a cryptid. Here for it. Like Cloverfield, give it to me. Godzilla, the 1998 one with Matthew Broderick, give it to me. That is what I need in my life. Love a monster movie and I love a cryptid. Urban legends I'm into as well, because there's always, like, for example, you know, there in Kent, there's a really famous haunting of the hitchhiker on Bluebell Hill.
Yeah.
All over the world, there's hitchhiker urban legends. Like, I love it. I'm fascinated by it.
We'll do that. We should
so
do that.
into it.
Definitely should do that at some point. I'd like to do the urban legends one.
I'm gonna plug the YouTube channel again.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep doing that. But our first YouTube episode is going to be about a really famous cryptid case. So if you're interested in cryptids, then the link is in the description to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Question number 3. Is there any one paranormal phenomena or creature that you'd like to see in real life? And that came from Sudge and Moon.
Yeah, I want to see aliens.
What is wrong with you? Don't say things like that out loud.
Why not?
Because it'll be like Bloody Mary. You'll say it too much and it'll happen. They'll appear. Am I mixing up my paranormal phenomena?
Potentially, yeah. No, I'm intrigued by like UFO. I'd love to see a UFO.
You've seen one.
Yeah, but I'd
Tick it off your list. Move on.
No, like a bit more substantial. Like I saw green lights moving in a weird way, which was really kind of weird. But it could have just been like military, and I'm pretty sure it was military, to be fair. But I'd like to see like a cigar-shaped silver object in the sky that wasn't a helium balloon.
But what do you think seeing aliens would bring to your life?
A sense of knowing.
Oh, sorry. A sense of knowing.
Yes.
I see.
What about you?
I don't know.
Mothman, after reading the book?
Maybe I'd like to see Mothman. He sounds like a bit of a catch. I don't know. I'd quite like to see like a Bigfoot or something from a distance. Because I think cryptids are so much more believable than anything else. Because I know it's for like, logically, is it likely that there is, a massive ape-like creature running around the forest?
Yeah,
no.
there is. It is.
Are there any fossilized remains or any remains at all? No. However, we're always finding creatures that we never knew existed. So I'm into the whole cryptid thing, especially cryptids in the sea.
I think Mothman would be one not to see, because he's not really a thing. He's just like almost like an angel of forewarning, isn't he?
Yeah.
So I kind of don't want to see him.
Yeah, true. Because then I'd be like, oh, shit.
Stay away from bridges.
Yeah. Question number 4. Do you think that Dan sounds like Moss from the IT Crowd?
No, that is not a question. You just put that in.
And that comes from Joe, is it?
Oh, is it you? Hey, that's my brother, if you don't know. No, I don't. Did he actually put that question in? Why, Joe? I don't sound anything like Moss at all.
I would like you all to YouTube, if you've never seen the IT Crowd, YouTube Moss IT Crowd, and write me in and tell me if you think Dan sounds like Moss from the IT Crowd.
Also, if you are the person that has the Instagram account, Moss Fan Club, who is currently following me, but is actually just posting loads of pictures of Moss, please message me. Let me know if that's just a little gag in my direction.
I really hope it is. Question number 5. Why is Dan's Twitch username Milo Skibber?
Okay, so back when I thought I was cool, but never really was.
Fair.
And around the time I sort of had my first email address, instead of choosing your name, which would be a really good thing to do, I was like, what can I call myself? I know, I like the Alkaline Trio. The singer of Alkaline Trio's surname is Matt Skibber, so I'll use Skibber, but I can't call myself Matt Skibber because then people might think I'm in the band.
Obviously.
So who else do I like? Oh, I like the band called Descendants. Who's their lead singer? Milo Alkerman. Okay, so I'll call myself Alkerman Skibber. No, that doesn't work. Oh, Milo Skibber, that works, and then it's just kind of stuck. So that's where it comes from.
It's your username
It's
for like
my thing,
everything.
yeah.
Question number 6. After making your podcast, do you feel more aware of the paranormal or get more spooked? And that comes from Rachel Cassandra.
Sometimes I leave recording shook. Like, genuinely.
Yeah.
Sometimes we finish an episode and I'm just like, I don't feel good. Other times, I feel desensitized So it largely depends what it is.
I think in terms of the paranormal, I feel like I'm more aware that that so many people have had various experiences and so many people have different beliefs in different things. I feel like in terms of watching a horror film every week, I am less and less spooked by horror films, and I don't think it's made me more spooked. It's
definitely this podcast. This podcast has definitely desensitized me to horror movies. I'm getting less and less bothered by them, I think. But then we've seen a couple where I've just been like, well, so when they're really good,
yeah,
the impact is worse, I think.
But then I think the listener stories that we've gotten, so things like Freddy has really fucked me up.
All the listener stories mess me up. Like all the listener stories mess me up.
There's a lot of them that have like made me go, oh, this is awful. So I don't know. It's a bit of a mixed bag. Number 7. What is yours and Dan's favourite tattoo? And that comes from Lollipop's World.
I like the underside of my left bicep, which nobody ever gets to see, which is just part of my sleeve, half sleeve rather, of a guy called Scott Sinclair's artwork. But I really like that particular bit, and I'm kind of gutted that I gave the artist free rein and he decided to put that bit there.
Yeah,
because it's my favourite bit. But it's just a weird part of that bigger sleeve. But I like it. What about you?
I don't really know.
It's normally your latest one, isn't it, with you?
Yeah, normally I'm like, oh, look, this is new and shiny, so I love it.
I think your Frida is amazing.
I have a big portrait of Frida Kahlo on my right arm, which I love. I think I sat for like 6 or 7 hours getting that one done, and I love it. It's beautiful. But I also have lots of other ones that I love too.
It's got a boar's penis.
I do. I have a boar tattooed on my left arm, and it is the insignia of King Richard III. There's a long story behind it, but it's not really that long. I was in a play. I played Richard III. I impulsively decided I was going to get a Richard III tattoo so that when I was on stage I could be like, look how basically meta I am.
Emma approaches tattoos in the same way that Maui from Moana does, in that they tell the story of her life.
Yeah. So there'll be a different point in my life where I'll be like, oh, that was this time when I was. You should see her
back tattoo where she defeated the lava monster. That is something unreal.
Number 8. What is the first horror movie you both remember watching and starting your love for spooky stuff? And that came from Kat L. Spear.
That is a cracking question because I can't actually remember. I feel like it might have been Scanners.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
It's like an 80s horror movie. Like all the horror movies that I saw when I was way too young to see them, but they were also not new films. So yeah. They've been out for a while. Yeah, I've got a feeling it might. Let me have a think. Do you know what yours? You know what yours is, don't you? Because you've got that story with it, right?
Oh, when I was really little, I've said this story before, but when I was really little, my brother let me stay up and watch Silence of the Lambs, which I know isn't really a horror in the traditional sense, but I must have been 5 or 6. Like, I was tiny, and it traumatized me. I was so frightened that I was going to run into a man who liked to eat people, like in real life. So frightened. But I also think it spurred on my love of, or my fascination with serial killers, which I love and I am quite fascinated by. If anybody wants to talk to me about serial killers, by all means. But I think that was the first horror film that I saw, and it like I can still remember my brother saying the words, it's about a man, it's a film about a man who eats people, and me, little tiny brained me, going, people eat people. Traumatized.
So I think that probably the first horror movies that I saw were probably around my friend Matt's house when I was a child. But I don't really remember them because I'd imagine I was probably asleep when he was watching them and pretending to be awake, because I wasn't very good at staying up as a kid.
How can you sleep pretending to be awake?
Well, just like vaguely sleeping in the position of the TV. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just sort of like nodding along to comments and not really being awake. I also lived an incredibly sheltered life, thankfully, as a child, because I had a horrendously I still do have. I have an overactive imagination. However, as an adult, I can understand it a little bit more. But as a child, it was not a good thing. So I had to monitor what I watched. I know what the first horror movie I watched in full was, and I was about 12, so it's a lot later than most people. But I watched Rosemary's Baby.
But Rosemary's Baby is still terrifying.
It's still terrifying. But that is the one that I saw in full, and I watched it on TV when I should have been in bed. So,
that's scary. Rosemary's Baby is scary. Question number 9. Is there a spooky spot that you wish you could visit? And that's from Gallons of Mustard.
No, I'm perfectly fine staying away from them, thanks.
Oh, I would love to, and I don't know if it really counts as a spooky spot, but I would love to go to Salem. I love the story of the Salem witch trials. I think it's so horrible, but also so fascinating. I would love to go to New Orleans because I think there's so much cool stuff.
I can go to both those places, just not particular places in those places.
Yeah, like I'm not necessarily like, I want to go to this particular building, but places that have a kind of a heritage of mysticism and otherworldliness.
I can tell you all the places I don't want to go to. Which is most of the places that we've read about.
How long do you have? I would love to go to Penhurst just for a wander around.
Nope.
And number 10, could you do an episode about your favourite supernatural films? From Caitlin JR4.
Is there a distinction between paranormal and supernatural at this point, or is that not what we're going down? I don't
think it is.
Okay.
I don't think there's a distinction at this moment in time.
Okay.
I think all my favourite ones have been ones that I've watched for the film reviews.
Yeah.
So I think if I was to say, for example, The Babadook, which I know a lot of people hate, but I absolutely loved it. And I think that if I was to do an episode on The Babadook, I'd end up repeating everything that I'd already said.
What I'd quite like to do, and I've not told you this, so I might as well just tell you while we're recording, is I'd quite like to do a couple of deep dives for 50p Movie Club while isolations are going on. So me and you do a little bit of an unpacking of one of them more, just for 50p Movie Club, not for Real Life Ghost Stories.
Yeah, because we try and limit our film reviews a little bit, because otherwise we could just sit and argue about them.
And I can
for
talk
20 minutes.
And anybody that's listened to 50p Movie Club knows that I can talk about films for hours.
Yeah.
And that's what would happen. That's what would happen. But I would like to do it. I think it might happen, just maybe not under this banner.
Yeah, maybe. And that was our 10 questions for this week. Ooh. We'll be back next week with some more quarantine question time.
Bye.
Bye.